secrets. You know what's gonna happen if Diesel finds out you're fucked? As he walks around the corner to go back over with the others, as Foos stood there momentarily before doing the same. Foos talked on the phone before abruptly leaving the hospital without a word to anyone. Arkina was twitching her finger as Tilly yelled to everyone, but as she'd been under for 2 months, but that was it. As the doctor says, don't lose hope. That's a good sign. She's fighting this, so there's still hope. She'll pull through just fine. That night, about 3 a.m., Diesel's phone rang, as it was Tank, and he said that Ark has opened her eyes. As they talked on the phone, as the TV in her hospital room was on, the newscast aired. A suddenly tragic accident had happened, as 2 riders for Motorhead Racing collided, as the same rider that rendered a 21-year-old Arkina soul was struck by and rendered in a coma in the ER, but the other rider came out of nowhere and has been a total mystery. Tragically, the promising rider lost his life that day, and Cindy Fuse reporting with Channel 8 News, signing out. Tank turned the TV off as he looked at her and smiled. You're gonna be just fine. And so are we. As he smirked, kissing her on her forehead and saying he'll go get coffee. As he walked out and everyone in the fam were talking about the newscast, all speculating on who it could have been, but obviously seeing that he was a damn good writer, wondering where he came from, as they speculate and add that this just happened an hour and a half ago, as so fresh news Arkina was released that day. Beforehand, Diesel says it did not happen an hour and a half ago. It happened 2 months ago. They're just airing it on the TV now. Don't you think there's a problem with that? She has a lot of physical therapy that she has to do to recover her muscles and regain her strength. Luckily, would be doing that for 6 months, and she stayed with Tank until she fully healed, as he'd also help her as well. Due to her mobility was snail movements. She went through this for 8 months and was already talking about getting back in the race 2 months later, which would make it a year total. But no one was liking that idea. As Tilly stated, if she goes through with this, I'll watch out for her. She'll be safe. And about 1 year and 6 months later, she did just that, with everyone at the edge of their seats due to her accident, but they were surprised and could finally relax after 6 months of gained successes and a big first place trophy to go along with it at the end of the championships, and had in fact got signed and sponsored with Motorhead Sports, as she'd get paid $25,000 every 2 years and gets everything, all her parts, half off. She was living the dream of her life and was loving it, and her and Tank were a number, so everything was falling right into place with everything. Caden was getting so big as he always loved going and chewing gum and with the gym with his dad, uncles, and he'd try to pick up a dumbbell and lift it up and down as they'd laugh and say, "Yep, he's definitely your kid." And he'd laugh and smile as they continued before dispersing and all going home, as Caden wanted a milkshake, so Diesel stopped and got him one on the way home. As he handed it to him, telling him not to make a mess, as he buckled him in his booster seat, car seat duo, and continued home.